Hello and welcome to the
And
Woo Side podcast. We are your hosts. I'm John Hall.
and I'm Stephanie Kunkel. Welcome to the show.
All right. So we wanted to do an intro for the podcast and let you all know who we are and what we're doing here. So as I said, I'm John Hall. I'm a hypnotist. I'm a hypnosis researcher and historian. And together, we've come together over the internet. We have a private group that we talk about different phenomena and different things. And over time, we realized that there's a lot of topics that are not actively talked about in public. And a lot of hypnotists and so forth kind of shy away from these topics. And we wanted to bring it to the forefront. So.
Absolutely. And we actually recorded an episode yesterday, which is episode 1, with our first guest, Tom Silver. So go check that out. Episode 1 of the Woo Side. And yeah, I'm like so excited, John, to be doing this with you because we've known each other for a while now. And we started this Facebook group together. Mm-hmm. How many? Several years. And we started this
Yeah. Probably 4 or 5 years or so now at this point.
Yeah. It's been a while. And we've been wanting to do something together for a long time. And we finally just kind of got our act together and said, let's just do it. So here we are. But we're both very curious people, and we're both very, I guess, well-read or avaricious readers of certain, especially a phenomena, right? Mm-hmm. And we just find those kind of like woo-woo topics very interesting and fascinating. And a lot of people do shy away from that. And why do you think people shy away from the woo-woo topic, John?
I think for several reasons. One, I think that they're scared of hurting their credibility of just talking about this in public. There's some aspects to this where it's just become standard practice to say, well, this can't be done with hypnosis, for example. And yeah, I think that's the main thing there is people are just scared to talk about it in public. And we're also taught, like when you go to school, that these things are no longer possible, where when you read the older books and manuscripts, there's phenomena that was commonplace that you don't really see today.
For sure, right. And a lot of this knowledge is being kept out of our text. Out of our students' textbooks. And even with, there's lots of scientific proof for phenomena, yet it gets disregarded at school. So it's like, if it doesn't match a certain mold, then it's like students shouldn't learn it. So just learn this cookie cutter stuff. Don't worry about all this outlying stuff. And that's the stuff that when they say don't worry about that stuff, kind of like the apocryphal books of the Bible, and the books that were not put into the Bible, they go like, don't read that, read what I want you to read. And I go like, ooh, what's that? Why don't they want me to read this?
So as soon as you're told not to, it's that instinct that you gravitate towards it.
Yeah, like what are they hiding? Why don't they want? And I'm not really like a conspiracy theorist, but when people hide information from you, I mean, that's kind of insulting. That's like saying I can't think for myself and I can't draw my own conclusions, right?
Exactly.
And I have to be spoon-fed information. Like, give me the information, let me make up my mind. Maybe I think it's too bizarre, or or maybe I can do more research and figure out how it connects for me. But anytime somebody hides information from me, that raises a flag. Right.
And the other part of this is we just want to do this for fun. So just because, I mean, there's going to be plenty of topics we're going to cover in the future. And just because we cover a certain topic doesn't necessarily mean that we believe in it. But it's interesting, it's fun, and why not have the conversation? Let's explore the topic and see where things go.
Yeah, for sure. It's just fun to explore. And by the way, we're both hypnotists, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, and I'm known for creating the profound somnambulism protocol. But this show isn't about hypnosis. I've got a whole channel just about hypnosis. But this is just about phenomenon and things that people are, maybe the paranormal, or things that people are afraid to talk about. And I can understand why some people would be afraid. And even myself as a hypnotist, when I started getting a little bit more woo-woo with my hypnosis and started doing spiritual hypnosis with people, I was kind of scared to go that route, even though I knew that it worked. And I was actually doing it with people, but I was afraid to advertise it. I was afraid to talk about it with my colleagues because I didn't want to be perceived as somebody who didn't know what they were doing or talking about, or somebody who wasn't a tree hugger and nut, right? And I'm very much based in science, and I believe in science, and I believe in evolution and stuff like that. But I necessarily think that the two need to be separated. I think that they can work in tandem with each other and be integrated. And I think a large part of the problem with society today is that we have disintegrated the two, and everything has become. If you talk about anything spiritual or just outside of science or whatever, it's like it becomes politicized. It becomes an ideology, dogmatic, all of that, and that's not what we're about here. So John and I, we just think it's fun to explore this cool phenomenon, like what is happening with telepathy. We know that there are certain people who do possess these telepathic powers, possibly everybody in the world, but it's just gone dormant for whatever reason. Like that's something that is very interesting topic to me. Even seeing a ghost or shadow people or whatever, that kind of stuff. So the thing is, like any kind of phenomenon that happens all over the world, even aliens, UFOs, if something is happening all over the planet and at different eras of time, I go like, there's something to this, right? I'm not just going to throw it out, and I'm not going to just throw out the baby with the bathwater, because yeah, there are a lot of shucksters out there, right? There are a lot of people who try to scam other people. What are they, like snake oil people, who just try to sell you something, and yeah, and even psychics and stuff like that. I mean, there are some psychics who are scam artists, but I don't believe that all psychics are scam artists, right? But the ones who are kind of like, give the other ones a bad reputation. And so that's what, so for a long time, I was careful about my reputation. I didn't want my reputation tainted. But now I think once I turned 45, I'm almost 46. It's like the older I get, the less I care about what people think of me or what sort of reputation I get. Because I just want to have fun and work with what I know that my truth is. And I know that those people will find me, the people who sort of resonate on the same level as me.
Right. And I think what we're going to find is there's going to be a lot more audience members that resonate with this than a lot of people realize. And I think it's kind of fun even talking about, our industry's history. Like there was a lot of charlatans and stuff. And to your point, like in the 1800s and so forth, the real snake oil salesman, and how the AMA and FDA, how we've got these rules that really limit what we can practice and do, because one bad apple spoils a bunch. So a lot of charlatans kind of ruined it. Correct. For a lot of people. And then, going back in our history, the phenomena that was achieved is not seen today as commonly, yet sometimes you're going to come across some practitioners who stumble across it on accident or did enough experimentation where they can finally start replicating it. So we're relearning some of the old knowledge that have been lost to time.
Absolutely. And when I got into hypnosis, I wanted to read as much as I can of the old, dead and gone hypnotist, because I wanted to see what they were doing, how similar or how different it was from what we're doing today, and to see what have we gotten rid of that we shouldn't have. Like maybe let me try to experiment with this and see if I can reproduce it. And some of the language, yes, the language that they used back then was definitely more authoritarian and a more dominant type of language. That was just the times. That's the way it was everywhere. Maybe a little misogynistic. So I could I could change the language, but what are they doing? What are they actually doing? And that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, well, what are they doing, and why are we not doing this now? And how can we put this into practice now with maybe a new language? And again, for you guys watching who aren't hypnotists, this is not a hypnosis show, but we probably will talk a lot about hypnosis because we're both hypnotists. And we have lots of examples to draw from our own life experiences.
Absolutely. So again, we will talk about various phenomena, hauntings, paranormal, aliens, you name it. And again, a lot of this is just for fun. And we'll just see where the conversation takes us. Because today, I think everyone can agree, we're living in a really crazy world today. And no matter what direction you go, especially online, people like to stifle conversation. And I'm in strong disagreement with that. I think the conversation needs to be had regardless of what the topic is.
Absolutely. So. 100% agree. And, I think we can have civil conversations with people with opposite opinions. And John and I didn't want this to be a I'm right, you're wrong type of thing. And we also don't want it to be like a social compliance thing either. We want it to really be like, hey, let's have this topic come up, or let's just explore this topic, and let's do a deep dive into it, and let's just see what we can mine out of this conversation. And who knows, we may draw some, we may draw some new conclusions, or we may say like, oh yeah, okay, well maybe that, whatever. And we'll just let the audience, you can make up your mind for yourself. But I think the most important thing is to have these conversations.
Absolutely. Have the conversations and have a little fun while we're at it.
Yeah, and have a little fun while we're at it. And again, it doesn't mean that we 100% believe in even what we're saying. But we're open-minded to the phenomenon and the experience of the phenomenon, and we're open-minded to whatever science there is that's valid behind it. And if something comes up where the science is like, no, this is actually 100% bullshit, and we can 100% prove it, then okay, I'll accept that. Right.
There was a movie several years back with Sean Connery called Finding Forrester. And he was a really renowned author in that role. And he made friends with a younger gentleman. And he found these old tabloid magazines, like Man Eats Own Face and crazy things like that you used to see in the supermarkets. And he was like, you're an author, why, don't you hate this kind of stuff? And he's like, no, that's my dessert.
Yeah,
that scene always stuck with me because I like the way that's framed.
It's my guilty pleasure. Yeah, I love that too. Maybe this is my guilty pleasure as well. But this is what I really enjoy. I love to, I can talk, well, obviously I can talk, I was gonna say I can talk about this until the cows come home. That's a Southern saying. Um, but, but basically, yeah, there's just this is a topic that I love so much that, knocking on wood, like, I don't think I would ever get sick of talking about it. And I don't think that there will ever be an end to it, right? I think there will always be more to explore and more to explore and more to explore. And so that's why I love that we're doing this podcast, John. And also for the viewers, we're going to try to have the podcast once a week, but because of our schedules, we can't really set a time that this is absolutely going to be, like, Wednesdays at 7 o'clock or something like that. We're just going to do it when we can, but it'll go up on on YouTube on a regular basis, so you'll be able to catch our latest episodes.
Yeah. So feel free to contact us. We'll have some contact info to share, and give us feedback, give us topic ideas as well. And if you'd like to be a guest, let us know.
Yeah, please do. We're really excited to go on start this journey, as the Fool. And we're happy for you guys to come along with us, and let's just see where this path leads.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, looking forward to doing more podcasts with you, and we'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.